So this is just going to be a quick video in terms of where I'm at in my diet, what I'm doing with my cut, how I'm getting so shredded, and what I'm doing in terms of training really. This isn't going to be a macro video, so it isn't going to be about how to calculate your macros. I was going to do one of those, but then I saw another YouTuber uploaded pretty much exactly the same thing as I was going to do last week. So I've kind of been a bit hesitant about doing that. But I think the using percentages, so like 50% carbs, 30% protein, and 20% fat is a really shit way of calculating macros. It's not tailored to you, and I think it's a lot better using like a certain set of rules and then calculating them yourself. So if you want to see that, let me know and I will do a video on the proper way to calculate your macros. Anyway, in terms of diet, I'm about 5 weeks out, and what day is today? Tuesday, so 5 weeks out and 4 days from this competition, 5 weeks out and 3 days from this competition, so I'm 5 weeks out. That means I've been dieting for basically 7 weeks and I've lost around 15 pounds. So this morning I was 184.5 pounds. When I started and did my bulk, I was 200 pounds. So that is a lot of weight. My original plan was to drop about 1.5 pounds of weight per week. So if you're dropping that much weight, you can kind of assume that the majority of the weight is going to be fat. Any more than 1.5 pounds is likely to be muscle, so it's kind of like maximising the fat whilst minimising the amount of muscle loss. But as I said, I've lost 15 pounds in 7 weeks, so that's about 2 pounds a week, which is more than I wanted to. So there's going to be some muscle loss, but it's not major. I'd much rather be ahead of schedule than behind. On my first week of cutting as well, I lost several pounds in a week, but that's not going to be fat. You can kind of shrug that off. So if you want to calculate your diet or anything like that, I use a spreadsheet to work it all out. You can not include that first week. So several pounds went in that first week, but that's just going to be water weight. You're restricting carbohydrate intake, and your carbs are kind of used as an energy source. So if you're restricting that energy source, your body's going to need to get energy from elsewhere. So you've got glycogen storage reserves in your muscles that your body uses as a source of energy, and for every gram of glycogen you store, I think it's 2.4 grams of water. So as you start to use up that glycogen, your body starts to dump that water. Your glycogen likes water basically, so the two and two go hand in hand. Get rid of glycogen, get rid of water. So that initial drop of weight is going to be water loss due to lowering my carbs. In terms of calories, I'm still on like 2,900 calories a day, and I'm losing about 1.5 to 2 pounds a week. So I found that sweet spot. You want to find a sweet spot where you're losing the amount you want to lose. So once I've found that 2,900 calories, I'm going to stick with it until I stop losing that amount. Then I'll probably down it by 100 again. My macros at the moment, I'm on about 240 grams of protein, 300 grams of carbs, and 80 grams of fat. Throughout my cut, my carbs and my fats and my proteins will stay completely consistent. So I won't play my fats, won't play my proteins, except on one day, and I'll mention that in a minute. My carbohydrates, on the other hand, they change. I control all my overall calories with my carbs. So proteins and fats, same, carbs change. If I want to go lower calories, so say if I started to plateau and not lose enough weight, I would drop, say, 100 grams or 100 calories from, I think it's about 30 grams of carbs. I can't really remember off the top of my head. But yeah, I'd drop 100 calories by controlling my carbohydrate intake. So my calories are controlled with my carbohydrate intake. Everything else is constant. My diet at the moment as well, I'm trying intermittent fasting. So what that basically means is I'm only eating from 12 in the afternoon to 8 at night, kind of not doing anything else after then, and I'll train about 2 o'clock in the daytime. I'm not sure, I haven't found any studies about how it is for bodybuilders in terms of muscle preservation, but in fat loss I love it. And in terms of like feeling bingy, like if you've ever been on like a real restricting diet with not a lot of food, you often feel very, very bingy and just want to binge out and eat loads of shit. But I don't find that. So in the morning I quite happily go without breakfast, then you have loads of food in a small window, so it's really easy, man. I have about 30% of my carbohydrates before I train, then have the rest after I train. Have some like simple sugars after I train, so I have some dextrose for my protein shake. In terms of training as well, training 7 days a week with 2 rest days, but 2 of those rest days are cardio. I'll have Monday for chest day and triceps, back and biceps on Tuesday. Wednesday is a rest day of cardio and abs. Thursday is shoulders. Friday's legs. Saturday is arms, and then Sunday is cardio and abs. So I'm training everything once a week except arms, which is going twice a week. So I just don't really see the need to train everything twice a week as I would when I'm bulking, as I don't think it's important really. Yeah, going back to diet real quick, I forgot to say something about the exception that I was going on about. Once a week I will have a refeed day. So every Friday for me, because that's my body part that I want to kind of keep the most, or I want to build on the most, my legs, I will have a refeed day. So what I mean by refeed day is I will refeed myself from carbohydrates. What I will do is I will ignore fats, okay? So I'm not going to try and get my 80 grams of fats. Any fats that I have are the accessories of the carbohydrates that I eat. So say if I ate it's a really bad example, it's all I can think of, an apple and it had 4 grams of fat in. Apples don't have 4 grams of fat in. That's where I get my fat from. I wouldn't actively log my fat. But anyway, I'll keep my proteins exactly the same. I have 240 grams of protein. I will up my calories to my maintenance, so I'll eat 3,500 calories that day, and then the rest of my calories, so 240 grams of protein have gone, okay, I will definitely get that, but the rest of my calories, I'm just going to focus on carbs. So on that day, I might have 500 grams of carbs. So basically, protein stays the same, calories go up to maintenance, and my carbohydrates go up to get my calories up to maintenance, and I kind of ignore fats. So that's what I'm doing on that refeed day. Basically just replenish everything, sort your hormones out, give you some nice carbs to make you feel good, get your leptin levels back up there, and yeah, favourite day of the week. But it's not a cheat day. Do not make that a cheat day or you probably will get fat. In terms of cheating as well, I've stopped having cheat days. I'll have, if I want to eat something, I'll eat it, but I won't have like a whole cheat day or a cheat meal, as I believe it's overall overly detrimental if you're cutting, especially for a competition. But if you're just generally dieting, it's probably alright. Like yesterday, for example, I had what I had for breakfast, a bit of caramel cake. We got like 2 kilos of it in our house, and my flatmates made it. I had a packet of Sunbites, which are like crisps, so it fits my macros as well. At the end of the day, if you wanna eat something, eat it. There's no point in not enjoying your diet, overly restricting it, and not having fun. All these diets that go on crazy low shit, and you can't have this, you can't have this. It's just green vegetables and chicken. Like, I think it's unnecessary. It's basically an eating disorder. If you want to eat something and you enjoy eating it, eat it. Don't restrict yourself from it, and then like finally fold and then just eat fucking loads and binge out and shit, because then that's going to be detrimental and it's not good for your overall health, including your mental health. So don't over restrict calories, don't over restrict the food you eat, and just enjoy it. I think there's no point in doing something unless you enjoy it, as Nathan says, and I believe him on that. Training as well, going back to it real quick, my training itself has stayed the same. In terms of weight training, I am always starting with a heavy compound on back, chest and leg days. So I'll be doing 5 sets of 5 on one of the big 3 heavy compounds on those, just kind of like the use it or lose it analogy, and then I will train high volume. So I go heavyweight on the first 5 sets, and then I'll go kind of lightweight high volume, but I'm still sticking to around that 12 rep range depending on what muscle I'm training. Cardio as well. On those 2 days cardio, I'm doing high intensity interval training. So what I'll do is I'll do a total of about 25 minutes on a treadmill, not actually running. What I'll do is I'll do 20 to 30 seconds sprinting on maximum incline all out, and then I'll have a 1.5 minute break. So by 1.5 minute break, I mean I'll just step off a treadmill and let it do its own thing. But I'll do 10 sets of those 20 to 30 second high intensity sprints, and then call it a day of like a 2 minute rest at the end of that. If I can't manage that, or I'm feeling really shit because I'm ill or something like that, or I just started cutting and haven't done cardio in ages, I would do like 30 minutes walking on maximum incline, or cycling or something like that. But high intensity interval training, you can do it on whatever, man. It doesn't have to be on a treadmill, because that puts a lot of strain on your joints. So I quite like to do cycling as well. Swimming is also sick. I haven't done that in a while though, but I'd recommend that. Water and sodium, that's what I was going to say. I've been really on point with kind of making sure that I get enough water. I'm really shit of it normally. I do not drink enough water, and water is good for you, especially when you're cutting. Water is good. I'm not to explain it. Water is good. Probably because I can't remember. But yeah, I've been drinking 2 litres times 2 a day, so 4 litres a day. And I'll put a funky calculator in the bottom where you can calculate your recommended water intake on bodybuilding.com, and that's real good. Salt as well. A lot of people like to really drop salt on the cut. My salt has kind of been kept the same. I'm not too bothered about it at this stage at all. Probably when I'm about 2 to 4 weeks out, I'll start looking consciously at my salt and maybe half it to what it is now. So I won't be on low, like stupidly low salts, but I'll be on generally low salts. A lot of bodybuilders as well, before they do their peak week, like the final week before the show, they like to drop salts to basically nil. I'm not restricting salts on my peak week. I'll get my salts a bit lower than they are 4 weeks out, and just stay at that level of salts due to your body wanting to like compensate for things. So it's kind of pointless. Like restricting water, I've read as well that if you restrict water, your body will release a hormone that makes you retain more water, so you end up looking worse. So it's swings and roundabouts. So I have a proper read into some like scientific studies in it, and then I'll move on from there. But yeah, other than that, I don't have much else to say about it or this subject for the matter. I think that's everything I wanted to say. As I said, I didn't say this. I want to start making some cutting videos, so I will start filming today. Actually, it's the morning, so I'm the film the rest of the day about what I eat, kind of like diet, day of a diet kind of thing, taken over from my boy Sean Thompson, who's left. So I'll steal your video, serious name, bro. Yeah, so I'm gonna show you what I'm eating on a daily, just to let you know. And I'll do some cutting training videos as well. Let me know what you want to see, okay? I don't know what you want. If you just freaking press the dislike button, that's not constructive. Give me constructive criticism. I won't offend it. I won't get offended. I'm very hard to offend. Even if you tell me, comment on it and say, that's fucking shit because of that, I won't be offended. Make it constructive. By disliking it, I'm not going to be able to see what I've done wrong. I'm not meant to improve, not meant to make it any better. And I'm currently playing on my ballsack. I should probably stop doing that whilst on camera. But yeah, so make criticism constructive if you don't like this shit. Tell me what you want to see. Tell me what you don't like. And yeah, that's all I've got to say really. Someone's messaging me on Facebook, something to shoot. But this week there will be a video on what I eat when I'm cutting, and I will do one on calculating your macros either this week or next if you want to see it. And I will it's going to be more cutting videos coming up. Whatever. Anyway, I hope that's all good. See you guys later.